Welcome to where we sort out the who and what, and the right and wrong of police interactions. This episode covers use of force, officer obstruction, and official misconduct, and is brought to us by Cameras Everywhere's channel. Be sure to check out the description below, and give them the credit they deserve that on July 26, 2021, Officer David Lance Dukes of the Oranguru immediately drew his gun and ordered 58-year-old disabled man Clarence Gaillard and his cousin, Mario Julian, who were standing in the parking lot outside the townhouse, to the ground.
Hey, let me see your hands. Bird, get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the ground right here. Get on the ground. You, Burgundy shirt, get on the ground. Over here. On the ground. On the ground. Get on the ground. Do you not listen? Get on the ground.
Mr. Gaillard attempts to comply with Officer Dukes' orders by getting onto his hands and knees, but Officer Dukes forcefully uses his foot to attempt to force Mr. Gaillard all the way to the ground, causing his head to violently hit the pavement. That I end the 1989 case of Graham versus Connor. The Supreme Court explained that the Fourth Amendment requires a police officer's use of force to be reasonable under the circumstances, and identified 3 factors that courts should consider when determining whether an instance of force was reasonable. These factors include 1. The severity of the crime at issue. 2. Whether the suspect poses an immediate threat to the safety of the officers or others. And 3. Whether he is actively resisting arrest or attempting to evade arrest by flight. More recently, in the 2016 case of Armstrong versus Village of Pinehurst, the Fourth Circuit, which includes South Carolina, held that non-compliance with lawful orders justifies some use of force, but the level of justified force varies based on the risks posed by the resistance. Even purely passive resistance can support the use of some force, but the level of force an individual's resistance will support is dependent on the factual circumstances underlying that resistance. That I end this situation. The severity of the crime at issue was limited at best. Although Officer Dukes claimed to believe that Mr. Gaillard had a gun at the beginning of the interaction, at the time Officer Dukes used force against Mr. Gaillard, it was clear that he did not pose an immediate threat, as he had raised both of his empty hands above his head before getting on his hands and knees. Finally, Mr. Gaillard was not resisting arrest in any way. In fact, he was attempting to comply with Officer Dukes' commands when the force was employed. Under these circumstances, it is highly likely that a court would conclude that Officer Dukes' use of force against Mr. Gaillard was neither justified nor reasonable.
Is there a gun back there?
Ain't no gun.
By that truck.
Ain't no gun.
You're not listening, dude. Bro, you got a gun on you, man?
No, I ain't got no gun.
Right,
I
I'm
don't
just
want no gun. I don't
Turn
want
back over. Paul, do you watch him say? He had something.
I ain't want no gun.
The door's unlocked, it's not always so.
No, he was right here. Watch him. Go watch him. There it is.
I don't want no gun.
All right, that's what he had. All right, who's the complainant? All right, get him up.
Put your leg up.
25 city, got one tank.
Alright. Put your leg that way so you can stand up.
All right, listen, I'm about to help you. Hold on. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. All right.
Yep.
Listen.
Yep, they slammed my head
Listen.
down on the cement. Yep.
Go back inside. Go back in the house. Go back in the house. Ain't nobody talking to you.
I got head drummer.
Go back in the house.
Yep. Y'all bust my head down. Yeah, I've been in an accident. Yep. Y'all bust my head down. You threw me down.
I sure did. You
And,
wasn't listening.
yep. No, it ain't. You ain't to throw me down like that. I'm disability.
Okay.
I got head problem. Yep. You throw me down. Yep. You throw me down. You throw me down. Yep. You bust my head down on the cement. Yep. You bust my head.
All right, let me tell you what.
His forehead.
You bust my head down on the cement.
He was in front of the car when I came up. And he was walking like this. And I thought it was a gun at first. I said, drop the gun, drop the gun, drop the gun, drop the gun. Had him at gunpoint. And he's over here doing something like this.
You slammed my head. You slammed my head.
What he was doing is putting this up behind the tire. So he comes over right here. He got his hands in his pockets. I'm telling him, let me see your hands, let me see your hands, let me see your hands.
Why you bust my head?
He wasn't listening.
No, it ain't.
He got the, like this right here,
You grabbed me.
and we went onto the ground.
You bust my head.
Officer Dukes claims that when Mr. Gillard was walking from behind the white vehicle, he believed that he had a gun and repeatedly told him to drop it. Officer Dukes also alleges that once Mr. Gillard stepped in front of the vehicle, he had his hands in his pockets and repeatedly ignored requests to show his hands. However, the body camera footage shows that Mr. Gillard actually had his hands above his head, and that, while Officer Dukes repeatedly screamed at Mr. Gillard to get on the ground, he never asked him to drop a gun or show his hands. Likely because Mr. Gillard's hands were visible throughout the encounter. Date N incident report filed by Corporal Brandy Smith, who was also on the scene, states that while Mr. Gillard was walking from the passenger side of the vehicle, he appeared to have his hands in his pockets, but that once he reached the front of the vehicle, he took his hands out of his pockets. Corporal Smith's report also states that Officer Dukes was giving loud commands for Mr. Gillard to get on the ground, but makes no mention of a gun or any commands to drop a gun or show his hands. And it is also important to note that when Officer Dukes was reporting what happened, he did not explain the method he used to take Mr. Gillard down. Corporal Smith's report claimed that when Mr. Gillard did not get completely on the ground, Officer Dukes pushed him to the ground by placing his right foot on the middle of Mr. Gillard's back. However, the incident report filed by Sergeant Ockwell Patta states that Officer Dukes jumped up and stomped Mr. Gillard on the back of his neck with his foot. Although it is unclear from the body camera footage whether Officer Dukes's foot landed on Mr. Gillard's neck or upper back, it is certain that the version of events Officer Dukes explained to his commanding officer did not align with the body camera footage or the reports filed by his colleagues.
That's on the cement. You bust my forehead.
Yeah, your head did hit the cement.
Right, because you bust me down on the cement.
Where's the complainant?
You bust my head down on the cement.
Right here?
You bust my head. You bust my head.
Where's the complainant?
You bust my head down.
We're trying to get the name of the complainant.
You
So
bust my head.
What are we doing? I guess Sam was going to check him out.
Ain't nobody
There ain't nothing over here on the press charges on.
Who called?
I'm not sure.
Take him out of cuffs right now. I mean, because that's what we
You're
got.
gonna have to use it for us.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
slam my head down.
Dude, I didn't know what his
You
intention
use
was.
it for us. You need to have a look at the camera.
The officer did wrong. Slam my head down. Bust my forehead. Damn right. You gonna pay me for that.
Mayor, I'm going to take that into evidence of what he had.
What?
Well, I mean, you know, that's the reasons I did what I did. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm coming from.
No gun or nothing.
Because when he was behind the truck, I couldn't see what he was doing. And I didn't know where
There ain't nothing there.
that went. If it was still in his pockets when he come around that car with his hands in his pockets.
These dogs officer.
Got it
No.
on camera.
Yeah, a
All
dog
right, that's
stick.
fine.
A dog stick.
So he can come out of cuffs?
Yes. Take him out of handcuffs.
Yeah, he can come out. Oh, Lord.
You may check
Hey.
it out.
Gotta take pictures. You mind looking? Hi. Good, how are you? What's going on?
Officer slammed me before he's down in the freeway.
Okay.
He was wrong for that.
Use consciousness?
Yeah. Listen.
Can I get a card from you?
I don't have one now. We
Okay,
don't have.
what's your
They
badge
don't
number?
give us cards.
Okay, what's your badge number?
1059.
Let me see if I can get my phone. Hold on.
Hold on, we have cards.
I get ready.
Okay. Thank
Go to
you.
hospital?
Mr. Julian asks Officer Dukes for a business card. Officer Dukes claims they are not issued cards by their department. However, Sergeant Patter immediately corrects Officer Dukes, states that they do have cards, and provides Mr. Julian with the information he requested that if it were concluded that Officer Dukes intentionally lied to Mr. Julian in an attempt to avoid accountability for his actions, it is possible that he could be convicted of 2 common law crimes under South Carolina law: obstruction of justice and official misconduct. In the 1997 case of State versus Lyles Gray, a South Carolina Court of Appeals upheld convictions for both of these offenses against an officer in the Camden Police Department for her conduct during a criminal investigation. The court explained that, under common law obstruction of justice, it is an offense to do any act which prevents, obstructs, impedes, or hinders the administration of justice, and that misconduct in office occurs when persons in public office fail to properly and faithfully discharge a duty imposed by law. In that situation, the court concluded that the officer obstructed justice and committed misconduct in office by failing to interview witnesses after her daughter was identified as a suspect, obtaining a false arrest warrant for another suspect, and withholding evidence. While Officer Dukes' lie about whether the department issues identification cards does not rise to the same level of misconduct, given the broad definition of both offenses, it is still possible that he could be convicted if charged. However, it is important to note that while some states legally require officers to provide identification to citizens upon request, South Carolina law does not place this obligation on officers. Additionally, many police departments have internal policies requiring officers to identify themselves, but those policies vary by agency.
Yeah.
Alright. Just call me.
Brandon, he can get his stuff off the car.
Dukes, will you say badge number?
1059.
Okay.
After Mr. Gillard was treated by EMS, he and Mr. Julian were allowed to leave. 2 days after the incident, Officer Dukes was fired from the Orangeburg Department of Public Safety for violating the department's use of force policies, which, as stated before, are not publicly available. On August 25, 2021, former Officer Dukes was charged with first-degree assault and battery, which could carry a sentence of up to 10 years in prison. As of the date of this episode, Mr. Gillard is represented by an attorney, but he has not yet taken any legal action against Officer Dukes or the department. Overall, former Orangeburg Officer Dukes gets an F for physically assaulting Mr. Gillard for no apparent reason, blatantly lying about the nature of the interaction in his police report, and making a concerted effort to avoid being held accountable for his actions. At no point during this encounter was Mr. Dukes in any danger, and it is clear that his violent actions were motivated by ego, not officer or civilian safety. There was absolutely no legitimate excuse for shoving Mr. Gillard's face into the pavement when it was plainly obvious that he was attempting to surrender. This is exactly the type of conduct that has sparked nationwide unrest regarding members of law enforcement MR. Dukes' feeble attempts to explain his actions and manipulate the facts of the encounter only add to his insidious behavior, and his conduct was nothing short of unacceptable. I commend the Orangeburg Department of Public Safety for immediately firing Mr. Dukes and pursuing criminal charges against him. If there were a grade lower than an F, he would certainly deserve it, Sergeant Patter gets an A+ for remaining truthful and objective throughout the encounter, ensuring that Mr. Julian was given the necessary information to follow up on the incident, and maintaining a calm, collected, and professional attitude throughout the interaction. Although it cannot be proven with certainty, I suspect that Sergeant Patter was highly involved in the department's decision to fire and charge Mr. Dukes, and that the testimony she offered in her incident report likely played a vital role in ensuring he was held accountable for his actions. Officers who witness acts of misconduct are often placed in a position where they must consider whether reporting that misconduct is worth the potential damage to their careers. It is all too common to see members of law enforcement justify the actions of their peers to avoid the repercussions of speaking out against them. This notion was on full display during this interaction when Sergeant Meyer fist-bumped Mr. Dukes for an appropriate use of force, without knowing any details beyond what Mr. Dukes had told him. That I commend Sergeant Patter for having the courage and conviction to hold Mr. Dukes accountable. And I sincerely hope that her actions inspire other officers who witness misconduct to come forward and do the same within their departments. AS for Mr. Gillard and Mr. Julian. I cannot rightfully issue a grade. To individuals whose actions were purely dictated by the conduct of the officers on the scene. Nothing the pair did was uncivil, and they obeyed all commands to the best of their ability. Without knowing the context of the encounter, it could reasonably be argued that both Mr. Gillard and Mr. Julian were victims of police misconduct, one by way of physical violence, and the other by an attempt to avoid accountability. That it should be noted that Mr. Julian made a legitimate effort to gather Officer Dukes' personnel information, presumably to file a complaint. I commend him for recognizing that Officer Dukes' actions were unlawful and doing what he could to hold him accountable. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic you would like us to discuss in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out my second channel for even more police interaction content.